going to call to order the City Council, Successor Agency, Financing Power Authority. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Authority Member Johnson. Present. Mann.
Present.
Smith. Vice Mayor, Vice Chair Christ.
Present.
Mayor Chair Paris. We have a quorum.
Move to excuse Mayor Paris.
A second.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're not going to call the Housing Authority to order because we have a quorum. We don't have a quorum. We don't have an invocation scheduled. Mr. Cozy is going to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a presentation for the 2013 Lancaster Corporate Challenge Fit to Draw Contest Award. Who's going to do the presentation?
Beverly is.
Okay, Beverly.
Vice Mayor Chris, Councilman Mann, Councilwoman Johnson. The Wellness Committee hosted the first Lancaster Corporate Challenge this year. The challenge is an Olympic-style series of competitions between teams, and the events all took place during non-work hours. We started on April 16th with a 5K walk run and followed with softball, basketball, bowling, golf, horseshoes, and a chili cook-off on June 22nd. We have a short video for you. Lancaster Corporate Challenge Cup, and this year, the first year, is being awarded to the Just Demo. Our goal was to engage the community, and we invited businesses as well as community groups to join us. The competing teams were from Antelope Valley Hospital, Antelope Valley Union High School District, the California Highway Patrol, Venza Insurance Associates, the LA County Sheriff's Department, Paraclete High School, and Rite Aid. And the City of Lancaster had 3 teams: the Destroyers, the Dust Devils, and Operation Slaughter. We had help from Rite Aid, Antelope Valley Union High School District, Venza Insurance Associates, and High Desert Runners in hosting the events. And generous donations from our sponsors, Antelope Valley Hospital, the City of Hope, Kaiser Permanente, and Advanced Printing and Graphics. At the conclusion of the chili cook-off, we tallied the scores in all events to determine the winner. And as you just heard, the winner of the 2013 Lancaster Corporate Challenge Cup was the City of Lancaster's own Dust Devils. Now, they have possession of the coveted Lancaster Corporate Challenge Cup. There you go. There you go. They have possession until next year's challenge, when someone's going to try to take it from them. All credit for this event goes to the Wellness Committee members and the additional staff members who worked on the Lancaster Corporate Challenge. And I'd like to ask them to please come forward and be recognized. We thought a great way to close this event would be to conduct a Fit to Draw contest and to invite elementary school students to create a design for next year's promotional materials. The design using a theme of sports, physical fitness, and teamwork. And Vice Mayor Chris is going to make the presentation for us to the winner.
Can we have Bailey come up, please? Can we have her family come up, too? Well, Bailey Sulik is the winner of the 2013 Fit to Draw Design Contest. And we'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the City of Lancaster. And my understanding is you were the first place out of 100 people. That's congratulations. That's wonderful. Hold this up here. Oh, we can get this guy on? We usually don't get much out of the City of Lancaster's city manager, but, you know, we're going to give the family a skybox of Jethawks. Congratulations. Congratulations again. Can we get one with you guys with the... Come in. Congratulations again.
Me?
And we had lots of participants. The University of Antelope Valley was a good sponsor participant. They got 2 much smaller trophies than the City of Lancaster.
We'll take it. Thank you. Yay! Thank you very much.
Beverly, that was a great presentation on the corporate challenge. And as Beverly was saying, this is a great way for the companies to come together as a community and build that rapport and just laugh and really enjoy our community. But it was also a great way, like Mark was saying, at the university when we had our employees challenging, it kind of brought everybody together at work too, you know, and kind of made everybody really excited about what we were challenged to do. And it really gave a great energy in your work environment and in your community. So, you know, again, a great big round of applause to the City of Lancaster to do such an amazing thing, go beyond to give us that pride that we deserve for our City of Lancaster. So thank you guys.
City Manager, are there any items to be removed?
No, sir.
I need a motion and a second for the minutes. No speaker cards.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of the June 25th meeting.
I second.
Let's vote. Motion passes 3-0. Consent calendar. Need a motion and a second.
I motion that we approve the consent calendar as comprised.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Let's vote. Consent calendar passes 3-0. PH1. We have no speaker cards. You want to waive the reading?
Yeah.
Yes.
Staff report.
Okay, I need a motion and a second for Resolution 13-34.
It would be appropriate to open and close the public hearing first.
Okay, we'll open the public hearing, and we'll now close the public hearing. And we'll waive the staff report.
Very good. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 13-34.
I second.
Let's vote. Page 2. We have no speaker cards. I'll open the public hearing, waive the staff report, close the public hearing.
I motion that we adopt resolution number 13-35.
All right, I'll second that.
Let's vote. Motion carries 3-0. PH 3. We have no speaker cards. We'll open the public hearing, waive the staff report, close the public hearing.
All right, agree to waive the staff report? Okay.
And I motion that we adopt resolution number 13-36.
I'll second that.
We have motion and a second. Let's vote. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, last one, PH 4.
Speaker cards, huh?
No speaker cards. Open the public hearing.
Okay. I wish to waive the staff report on concur.
Okay. We'll close the public hearing.
And I motion that we adopt resolution number 13-37.
I'll second that.
We have motion and a second. Let's vote. New business, NB1. We have no speaker cards.
Okay, so, you know,
Do you want to waive it?
Oh, I waive it.
if you
Yeah, thank you.
fine, concur,
Okay.
so close the
It's not a public hearing,
hearing now.
correct?
No, it's not.
So,
No, it is not.
okay. Any discussion? We have a
No.
motion and a second.
I motion that we adopt NB1.
All right. NB1 is to approve a yes vote on the City of Lancaster's support for the proposed downtown Lancaster property-based improvement district. I'll second that.
Let's vote. Motion carries 3-0. NB2, we do have a speaker card.
So let's hear the presentation.
Staff report, please.
Vice Mayor Chris, council members, this is an exciting thing to bring before you. It's not often that the city comes into or receives money that it didn't anticipate, but the two items before you tonight, new business 2 and 3, are the first two of 5 funding agreements that we are going to be presenting with MTA. there were $200 million that were set aside to do improvements to Highway 138 that were freed up because funding was provided through another source. And through the efforts of Vice Mayor Christ and staff, the city was able to present projects for 5 different interchanges that totaled $65 million in improvements. And MTA I should say MTA approved the use of that money. And now it's time to enter into agreements to start planning and designing and preparing to do these projects. So first project is the Avenue K interchange. And so we bring to you tonight the funding agreement to allow us to start working on that project, and the funding for that would be a total of $15 million. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Bozikin, can you talk about the restricted funds with this?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I also want to acknowledge Councilmember Kim Mann's participation in NCTC as well, too. The funds are restricted, meaning they can only be used for Route 138. Route 14, State Route 14, is co-designated as Route 138 through Lancaster. The funds can only be used essentially on the freeway through Lancaster, and the Vice Mayor, working with some of the others, was able to broker an agreement to make sure that we got the money for all of our interchanges. It's essentially the only projects it could be used for on that route. It can't be used other locations in the city or for other projects. And I echo what Carlisle said. It's not only is it not often, it's never happened that we've gotten that much money without a matching requirement for all our interchanges.
Right. Yeah, I don't ever recall ever in the city's history getting those kind of funds.
That was Mr. Mann and myself's first meeting at the NCTC, so we decided to make it a memorable one.
Right.
It only goes down from there, apparently.
But just to be clear, there would be nothing better for us to do than to pave all the interior streets of the city of Lancaster. But these funds are restricted for 138 and 14 use only.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we had $35 million and we could pave all the streets, yes, but they're restricted.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only frustrating part.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Talbert, welcome.
Right here. Not staggering, I got new knees. Still breaking them in. Titanium and chromium and Teflon. Oh, my time's running. And this is one copy of everything they could peruse without speaking. Thank you. I guess you know my pet project for the last 30-some years has been Highway 138. When you almost lose the daughter out there, it gets your attention. And it got mine. I'm still working on it. Council members, I'm here tonight to use this council as my sounding board regarding where state highway funds are spent. The cities of Lancaster and Palmdale have been awarded $200 million, which will be used to reconstruct Highway 14-138 off-ramps to relieve delays and inconvenience in the cities. But what about death and injury in the rural areas? I know those areas are not within your council's purview, but I want to use this forum to call attention to those deadly dips out past Pear Blossom and those deadly 90-degree turns in the Neenack area on 138 where there was a recent death. You'll see it in the packet I just passed up to you. Though it was due to a reckless driver from Oakland who was unfamiliar with our Deathway 138. The 5 miles of flooded dips near the county line San Bernardino were about to be filled in and widened just after the Northridge earthquake in 1994. But instead, those funds were used to fix the 14-5 interchange area damages down in Newhall. With the help of Supervisor Mike Antonovich, I convinced Caltrans to put up those daytime headlight signs back in 1992. But that was just a stopgap measure and not a final solution for Deathway 138. My final point, death and injury in the rural areas should take preference over the delays and inconveniences in the cities. Thank you for letting me vent my frustration on Highway 138.
Mr. Talbot, before you leave, I
can't hear you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Talbot, before you leave, I don't want you to misunderstand. There was a substantial amount of money that was separated from MTA, and the portion that we've got, there's actually 3 different buckets of money. The county is going to receive a substantial amount of money to do what would be the unincorporated areas of 138. The city of Palmdale is going to receive a bucket of money. What they do with their money, I'm not quite for sure. So I do want to let you know, as much as you, and I concur with your frustration, but I do want to let you know that the money was divvied up between 3 entities to deal with 138. And currently, both myself and Vice Mayor Christ is working on some additional funds that we hope that we're able to secure for the county to be able to do additional work on 138 as well in the unincorporated area. So I want to let you know that both him as well as myself concur with your insights here in regards to the rural areas of 138, and we'll do our darndest to make sure that the county gets the next bucket of money, and I'm talking about above and beyond this original $200 million.
Grateful for that, sir. But I want to tell you, just as time's out, I'm sure, but maybe not. I'm running over. I met with Caltrans officials about 20-some years ago down in Los Angeles, and Mr. Gentleman, I won't name him, but he was one of the officials that spoke to the Antelope Valley Press, and he said, to put up those headlight signs in the daytime, we'd have to have 200 of that type of head-on accidents. And I said, sir, you'd only need one if it was your daughter that nearly got killed out there, which was the case that happened to me. Her best friend got killed out there on Thanksgiving evening, way back in the 90s. So,
well, we'll continue to fight, and we'll see if we can't secure those additional funds. So hopefully that 138 gets taken care of.
Not only the from Little Rock out, but from the Avenue D off-ramp all the way to Gorman also needs to be improved. So we are working on that, even though it's not within our jurisdiction. We are making sure that there's funds that are allocated to make sure that those roads are cleaned up.
I appreciate your effort.
Okay. Thank you.
My work will be done.
I appreciate it.
When you get that all done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Mr. Bozigan, did you want to comment?
Yeah, I think Lyle brings up a good point. Just so you know, the funds that were made available here are because Mike Antonovich at the MTA had fought for other funding sources to use on 138. In fact, Mike has his transportation summit tomorrow, and they'll give a very good status of every one of the segments on 138 east of Palmdale and how they're funded and the schedule. So I think it'd be good if you went to that as well, too.
It's at Fire Station 129.
At 9 o'clock.
Where?
Fire Station 129 at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and they give a good map of every segment and when it's funded and how it's funded and when it's going to be constructed.
I'll be there. Thank you.
Tom?
No, as our council member said, we will be working very hard on that because we do empathize with your story, because there's many other stories as yours from Highway 138. So we will definitely be putting a lot of our energy to making sure that it gets taken care of.
I'm not sure I got the gist of that, but,
Okay, we support you and we will help you.
oh, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
So, question is, Council, can we take MB2 and 3 concurrently, or do we have to take them separate?
They can be taken concurrently.
Okay, well then I'm going to make a motion to recommend to approve Measure R funding for the Avenue K interchange, as well as for item MB3, which would be for Avenue M interchange.
I second.
Okay, let's vote. Both motions carry 3-0. Council reports. Mr. Mann.
Gosh, man, this has gone quick. I got good news. At the last meeting, it was determined that this last month, the month of May, the County Sanitation District was able to remortgage bonds to the tune of $107 million, and the new interest rate is 1%. So they did get that window, so that was pretty good. The savings is going to be roughly $29 million to the Sanitation District, and that's the first bucket of money. There is a second bucket of money that was used to construct the sanitation plant, and they're currently working on doing the same with remortgaging those bonds. It essentially saved us 2 years worth of payments on the bonds. So we made a big cut there just this last month. So I would hope that those funds currently are being used to build reserves back up, and then with the second remortgage of the bonds, then hopefully it'll be my pleasure to be able to start putting pressure on staff and see if we can't reverse some of those numbers that we've got on our current tax bills with the sanitation plant. And that's some good news, though.
That's great news.
1%. I can't believe that 1%.
You know, you've done a wonderful job since you've been there. I mean, it's been nothing but a complete turnaround, and you are chairman at this time, correct?
That's correct.
You've done a wonderful job.
Absolutely, it shows.
Okay, Lancaster Financing Authority, we have no action at this time. Lancaster Housing Authority, we have no action. Lancaster Power Authority, we have no action. Or the Successor Agency has no action. City Manager.
Two announcements. First, I'd like to echo what Vice Mayor Chris said. Since the council is putting so much energy towards the various agencies you're on, whether that's AVTA, Air Quality, NCTC, Sanitation District, there's been a marked difference in the benefits that are accruing to Lancaster. And I know it's a lot of work, and I don't know that the public honestly sees it's not just going to one meeting a month, it's being engaged. So we really do appreciate that, and it's making a real difference in all those other agencies that we're part of. Number two, I see we have Tim Fuller here, and I know that Marvin is on the fair JPA as well, too. The 4th of July was just a fantastic celebration, from the music. Captain Nelson's son was there from 3 o'clock till midnight playing 3 different sets, to the fireworks. Both staffs of the fair and the city worked great together in terms of traffic, controlling everything. Thought it was just a really fun event. I had a real good time. I know a lot of my neighbors did too. I don't know if you want to add to that, or Mr. Fuller.
Mr. Fuller, would you like to come up and make a comment regarding the fair?
Hadn't planned on coming up tonight, but thank you for inviting me, and I'd just like to echo that I think that one of the things that was really apparent this year, from my perspective, is a collaboration between the fair and the city. Now that we have the JPA, went sort of through a growing pains last year, and we learned from it, and seeing everybody work together, I think that we really helped to make the event even better than it was last year, and we look forward to building on that experience again and make it even better next year. But it's a great community event. It was wonderful to see so many people out there celebrating our independence in this country, and we look forward to making it a better event next year. Thank you for letting me address the council.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. The parking was much better than it was in previous years. We spent a lot of time trying to put that all together. And Rhonda, I'd like to say thank you to Parks and Rec for what they did. They did a wonderful job over there. You did a wonderful job putting everything together. The entire city staff just did a wonderful job. We've got nothing but compliments over what we've done. And I'm, proud to be the only community in the Antelope Valley that is celebrating the 4th of July as large as we do. So congratulations to all the staff.
Yeah, and I want to say that two things I heard very positive. One was the fireworks show. There was several people that came up to me and expressed that they thought the fireworks show was just great this year. And then the second thing is, I will have to say, Mark, the traffic control was superior than compared to last year. So excellent work. So, Rhonda, if you probably had, you were the one that was probably really in charge with that. So I'll have to thank you. So.
Rhonda's staff was in charge of a lot, but we'd be remiss in not thanking Michelle Cantrell, who did an excellent job with the traffic control.
Well, that was Michelle's.
Sheriff's deputies, Lance Jordan, who
Excellent.
had a lot of volunteers out there.
Are you going to talk about our councilwoman riding in on a horse?
I was going to make a joke about that, but I can't. She actually looked like she knew what she was doing. She came in. She had a little attitude going with it, so it wasn't. It was actually quite impressive.
Oh, thank you very much. That was just a point that I was making, that all women can do everything. So, that was the whole point of getting on that horse, and I think us women made that point.
She was on the horse and still directing us on what to do. It was pretty amazing.
Overall, it was an amazing evening. I mean, the bull riding, the fireworks were just so, beyond. Just so professional and so amazing, and so the weather was so beautiful, and as I said, the traffic flow was so smooth. I remember my father calling me like 30 minutes into it, and he was just getting ready to turn to start heading back home because of the way the traffic was being controlled. But he said that it was such a beautiful evening and so relaxing that extra drive that needed to be done wasn't a bother at all, because the overall evening was just so beautiful and such a success. So that was good to hear, and I'm sure a lot of people felt that way too. It was a great evening. It was a great partnership, and a lot of sponsors made that happen. So
Lancaster Auto Mall.
Lancaster Auto Mall was amazing at sponsoring the fireworks.
Absolutely.
And they did it. They made it happen. So next year, somebody will be riding a bull. It won't be me. I already rode the horse, so.
Maybe Rick.
Okay.
I think that's Ken.
Ken? Okay.
Ken has seniority.
I second that.
All in favor?
No, my mom caught my brother and I one time riding a steer, and we got whipped, and I'll never get on a cow or a steer ever again. No, I got whipped by my dad when he got home. Said that those were for eating and not for riding. Stay on horses.
That's funny.
But we had a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun until my dad got home.
Okay. City Clerk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for you to address the City Council on any items that are not on the agenda. You'll find speaker cards at the back of the council chambers. We ask that you fill them out completely and print as clearly as possible, so that if the city manager, city council, or city staff needs to get in touch with you, they will have your information. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. If you choose to ask a question during this time, any response by council will not extend your 3 minutes. When you approach the podium, you will see 3 lights. The green light comes on when your time begins, the yellow light comes on when you have 30 seconds remaining, and the red light comes on when your time is up. We ask that you be considerate of the allotted time to allow other speakers to have their 3 minutes as well. Following this procedure will allow for a smooth and timely process for the meeting. State law prohibits the City Council from taking action on items not on the agenda, and your matter will be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Maria.
Well, the farmer's market worked out, huh? You guys didn't even thank me. Well, come on, I was homeless at the time. But it would be nice if the city would recognize me and tell me thank you.
Wonderful job.
A lot of people get awards and stuff. But anyways, okay. You're with Desert Haven, correct? what do you think about bringing Special Olympics over here, like the track, like they made the racetrack?
Maria, could you address us?
How?
You can just
Okay, well,
address
this
us.
is Sir Bozigan.
He'll listen.
I think that the Desert Haven should bring, like, remember how they put the racetrack over there in the boulevard?
Uh-huh.
I think that what they should do is bring the Special Olympics out here, make a track for them. Okay, I'm a regional client, by the way. And, okay, I better get going on each subject. The APS and the CPS investigators, as they come out here, I want you to know, because I'm a regional client, the APS, they come out one time and then they, then they do stop the investigation, make their own conclusion. Yes, they do. Okay, and CPS also. Let me see. And I just want to state, I'm a regional client, and how can I say? I've had things happen to me in homes. I've been in facilities. So, but the point is that they come out, talk to you one time, and they don't come back. Okay. I was in a foster home one time with some people. The lady, they go through the questions. Oh, you're going to hurt yourself. You want to see your family. I seen some things going on in those houses, and I am going to address them to the California Development of Disabilities. Okay. And then here. It was not easy to see things. I've seen things, okay? I'm a higher functioning disabled person, as you can see. But the point is that I was in homes for a while. I saw things, and I have proof. I have SIRs that were made by people that were not supposed to make them, and then that'll be handled by them. But the point is that when the investigators do not care about the boonies, they only care about the Los Angeles area, that makes a lot of difference, because when these people try to cry out, nobody hears them, and then they just get used to being abused over and over. How are they supposed to get the help? And then the children, before you know it, there goes a child, or a disabled person, adult disabled person. Excuse me. And I'm just saying, if you would see the things I've seen, these people, as you see, are very productive. And look at Desert Haven. What's the other one? SVS, Easter Seals. And without their disability, we would not have. We wouldn't learn, okay, because we watch them, okay, and, well, please consider that, okay?
We will.
The Special Olympics, and then make the track for them. Yeah, the ADA, you could get money from that, really, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. David Paul.
Mr. Vice Mayor and Council, good evening. Yesterday morning I woke up to the mayor running with the bulls, so I thought the least I could do was go down to Palmdale and see what was going on. They had the meeting that was in the paper about spice, and I came to talk a little bit about that. You know, it's no secret that I'm for the legalization and taxation of marijuana and the end of the war on drugs. And I always try and put in the proper framework, the consequences intended and unintended of that policy. And what I wanted to talk to tonight about a little bit was what I've been doing. I have my new certificate in model thinking by Scott Page. This would most impress the mayor because he's into Scott Page heavily. And it's in model thinking, and this is my other one. This is what I've been doing, brain synapses and neurons. So you can go to Hebrew University in Jerusalem and study with one of the greatest teachers in the world on Coursera. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I picked up a couple things, and from the game theory modeling to solve problems, there's the Colonel Blotto game, and this shows you that if you're a weaker opponent, you want to open more fronts, and that way you have a better chance of winning. And then there's another game called the Prisoner's Dilemma, which you can model out if everybody starts with their own ideal outcomes in mind. You don't get the best common consequence, and usually people have to compromise and change their positions a little bit for both parties, all parties, to get to the best possible outcome. So that's why I talk about changing our opinion of the war on drugs. We have to compromise a little bit between our rigid standards, the law is the law, and all that stuff that people say when everybody does all these other things against laws they don't like. I mean, it's very confusing to people, but the point is that this spice and these bath salts that mimic meth and the spice that synthetic cannabinoids that mimic marijuana, people buy these things to evade drug testing. I've known about these things for many years. The Navy has a public service message because the problem is so severe with people freaking out, and it's all just to evade the drug test. So we come back around to the position where the drugs are better than the synthetic drugs. And so I'll talk a little bit more about this, but I just keep hoping we open our hearts and minds to understand that we have to do something different, and this is a tremendous problem, and the one thing I really don't want to see is Palmdale get ahead of us on solving the problem, but they seem to be unaware of the scope. You can go to any gas station and store and find this stuff, and our kids are using it, and it's a tremendous problem. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Anyone else like to speak? Council comments? Ken? Okay, I'm going to adjourn the council meeting and the Housing Authority meeting till Tuesday, July 23rd, 2013.